Hey, welcome to a new video. From the moment you were born, you have the ability to go wherever you want. But there are certain places that are off limits to the general population. This may be because secret documents are kept there, or because the government is working on secret projects. These places are therefore usually very well guarded.
Are you new to this channel? Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And before we start, also like the video.
For a place known as the roof of the world, what do you expect the rules to be for an aircraft flying over it? Tibet is a region in China located in the Himalayan region. It's renowned for its breathtaking landscapes and high-altitude terrain. While planes do fly over certain parts of Tibet, there are restrictions on direct flights over certain sensitive areas. These restrictions are mainly due to security concerns and the challenging geographical conditions. Tibet hosts numerous military installations, sensitive border regions, and restricted airspace. The Chinese government, which claims sovereignty over Tibet, imposes strict regulations to ensure national security. Certain areas in Tibet, especially near border regions and military installations, are designed as no-fly zones to safeguard sensitive locations from potential threats. Additionally, the Himalayan region poses unique challenges for aircraft due to its high altitude and unpredictable weather conditions. The mountains can cause severe turbulence, power updrafts, and heavy winds, making it hazardous for aircraft to operate safely. As a result, flight routes are designed to avoid the highest peaks and the most challenging areas of the Himalayas. One of the most guarded places is the Doomsday Seed Vault, and is located somewhere between the Arctic and Norwegian mainland. The vault is hidden on the island above the Arctic Circle, in a mountain, making it almost impossible to reach. The location alone makes it one of the safest places in the world. So what's being hidden there? It may, and without exaggeration, one day save the world. But the future of humanity lies within, because inside lies millions of precious seeds from 13,000s of agricultural history, with more than 930,000 varieties of food crops. So when the end of the world has come, you'll see that the Doomsday Seed Vault is the most important place in the world. The happiest place on Earth has done its best to eliminate that annoying sound of an airplane flying overhead while you're taking pictures with Mickey and Minnie Mouse. Disneyland and Disney World are popular theme parks that attract millions of visitors each year. While airplanes do fly near these locations, there are restrictions on direct flights over the parks. These restrictions are primarily in place to ensure the safety and enjoyment of park guests. Aircraft are not permitted to fly over the theme parks because low-flying planes pose risks to both visitors and the aircraft themselves. The noise and disruptions caused by aircraft can disrupt park operations and detract from the overall guest experience. Additionally, the airspace above theme parks is often classified as restricted airspace or a no-fly zone. The designation helps maintain security and prevents unauthorized aircraft from entering restricted areas. It also ensures that emergency services have access to the parks in case of unforeseen incidents. The first Qin Empire of China, Qin Shi Huang, has been buried deep beneath the surface, and a poisonous layer of mercury has protected his remains for over 2,000 years. Historians are eager to know the secrets of one of China's most powerful emperors, as they are quite sure that this tomb contains many details. But if the researchers will ever be able to see what's inside the tomb depends not only on the Chinese government, but also on science. After all, the biggest problem is that the world doesn't have special technologies to excavate and enter the mausoleum correctly. But what's so unique about the way Qin Shi Huang was buried? That's hard to say. But the main problem is the excavation could ruin the burial site. Researchers think we need some kind of robot to do the research. Wouldn't it be better to leave these secrets alone, or are you curious about them too? The White House, located in Washington, D.C., is the official residence and workplace of the President of the United States. As a symbol of American democracy, the White House serves as the seat of the executive branch. Restricting airspace above the White House helps ensure the safety and security of the President, the First Family, and the government officials working within the complex. A notable incident that contributed to the restrictions of airspace above the White House was September 11, 2001. These events underscored the vulnerability of high-profile government buildings and led to the implementation of enhanced airspace security measures. However, if you're curious about what happens if someone disregards all these warnings and still flies over this area, well, in 2005, a small aircraft piloted by an amateur pilot accidentally entered the restricted airspace of the White House, leading to a temporary evacuation. This incident highlighted the need for strict airspace control and enforcement to maintain the safety and integrity of the area. According to the Guinness Book of World Records, this is the world's most secure prison. Welcome to ADX Florence, also known as the Alcatraz of the Rockies. It's a supermax prison designed to keep the Earth's greatest villains locked up inside. Think about serial killers, organized crime bosses, gang leaders, and high-ranking criminals. Each of these criminals are so dangerous that they can't be held anywhere else. ADX Florence is the only prison in the world that can claim, since it opened in Colorado 1994, that no one has ever escaped. And that's just as well, because outside, these criminals pose an international threat. Prisoners spend 23 hours a day in tiny, soundproof cells and have no contact with other prisoners, not even the guards. The isolation would drive most people completely insane. The Mir mine, located in Russia, is one of the world's largest diamond mines. It's known for its immense size and depth, making it a significant landmark. The mine has a long history, and it's situated in the former autonomous Soviet Socialist Republic of Yakutia, now eastern Siberia. It's over 1,722 feet, or 525 meters deep, and has a diameter of 3,937 feet, or 1,200 meters. While aircraft can fly near the Mir mine, there are restrictions on direct flights over it due to the safety concerns. The airspace above the Mir mine is often referred to as a no-fly zone, or restricted airspace. This is primarily because the mining activities involve heavy machinery, explosives, and other hazardous materials. Moreover, there's been incidents where helicopters were literally sucked into the air draft. So nowadays, aircraft stay away from this Russian diamond mine. Did you know its estimated value is around $13 billion? Papua New Guinea is reportedly only 70% explored, and about 80% of the people there still live without the convenience of modern life. Among other things, Papua is known for its tribes that have never been contacted by outsiders. And there are rumors that some of these tribes are even cannibals. According to various studies, about 40 different such isolated tribes have already been discovered on Papua's island. But there's also some that have not yet been found because they are hidden very deep in the rainforest. They usually live in remote areas with their own rules, traditions, and rituals. But not only the tribes are secretive. Also, the Star Mountains in Papua are still a wild and impassable terrain. The mountains there are quite dangerous, and they reach up to 4,000 meters above sea level. The main reason why this tropical area is still not really explored is because of the extreme landscape and the huge lack of good roads. Machu Picchu is an ancient Inca ruin located in the Andes Mountains of Peru. It's a popular tourist destination from people all around the world. While aircraft are allowed to fly near Machu Picchu, there are restrictions on flying directly over it. The restriction is primarily in place to preserve the historical and cultural significance of the location. To protect the integrity of the archaeological site and minimize potential damage from aircraft vibrations, there are restrictions. The delicate structures and terraces of Machu Picchu can suffer adverse effects from low-flying aircraft, including disturbances caused by engine noise and air turbulence. By prohibiting flights over the site, authorities aim to ensure the preservation of this iconic monument for future generations. Antarctica truly feels like another planet. Not everyone can go there, and not every aircraft is equipped or even willing to make that journey. Antarctica, the southernmost continent, is a unique and fragile ecosystem, protected by international agreements. While aircraft do operate in Antarctica for scientific research and transportation purposes, there are certain restrictions. Restrictions on flying over Antarctica are primarily related to environmental concerns. The continent's home to a diverse wildlife, including penguins, seals, and seabirds, which can be sensitive to disturbances caused by low-flying aircraft. Moreover, the pristine ice sheets and glaciers can be affected by aircraft emissions and the risk of fuel leaks. To minimize environmental impacts and maintain the ecological balance of Antarctica, flight routes are carefully regulated. These measures ensure the protection of Antarctica's ecosystem. However, there are also conspiracy theories suggesting that the aircrafts aren't allowed to fly over Antarctica, because this is where the end of the world would take place. If you had the opportunity, would you be willing to visit Antarctica and see what's really going on there? Let me know in the comments. The Gangkhar Puensum in Bhutan is a mountain that has never been climbed by anyone. It's located in the Himalayan mountains on the border with China and is 7,570 meters high. Although people have tried to reach the top of this mountain over the years, no one has ever succeeded. The closest attempt made to reach the top of the mountain was in 1990. However, that group of climbers also failed to reach the top. Today, climbing higher than 6,000 meters on this mountain is prohibited by the government of Bhutan. It's out of respect for the spiritual beliefs among the locals. They believe that there are spirits haunting around the mountain peak, so it seems that the mountain will keep its unclimbed status forever. Eastern Ukraine, specifically the conflict-affected area, witnessed a tragic incident involving Malaysia Airlines flight MH17 in 2014. As a result, the airspace over eastern Ukraine has become a restricted zone, and aircraft are not allowed to fly over it. The MH17 incident involved the Malaysian passenger plane being hit by a surface-to-air missile while en route from Amsterdam to Kuala Lumpur. The tragedy claimed the lives of all 298 passengers and crew members on board. This incident highlighted the risks of flying over conflict zones and the potential for civilian aircraft to be mistaken for military targets. Following the MH17 incident, international aviation authorities issued guidelines and recommendations to prevent the reoccurrence of such events. As a result, the airspace over conflict zones, including eastern Ukraine, was designated as restricted airspace to ensure the safety of civilian flights. It also serves to protect the lives of passengers and crew members by avoiding potential hazards associated with ongoing conflicts.
Devil's Hole has existed on our planet for about 60,000 years, and it houses several rare fish from ancient times. Moreover, the water in the underground ocean of the Devil's Hole is crystal clear, and it's believed that the color of this water reflects all 7 colors of the rainbow. It's located in Death Valley National Park in Nevada in the United States. When the Devil's Hole was first discovered, scientists could not measure how deep it was. In fact, it was impossible to find the bottom of this hole. In 1991, researchers managed to dive deep into the hole with a depth of 132 meters, but they still did not reach the bottom. They did manage to see an additional 45 meters, but they assumed that this was not all. After years of in-depth research, many scientists think that the Devil's Hole is super deep and intricately constructed, and there's a theory that it may be connected underground to other parts of our world.
Mecca, located in Saudi Arabia, is the holiest city in Islam and the birthplace of the Prophet Muhammad. It's the destination of millions of Muslim pilgrims during the annual Hajj pilgrimage and Umrah. There's several reasons for restrictions on flying over the Mecca, including religious, security, and logistical considerations. From a religious perspective, Mecca is considered a sacred place, and the restrictions are intended to preserve the sanctity and reverence of the city. The presence of low-flying aircraft over Mecca could be seen as disrespectful and disruptive to the religious activities taking place on the ground. However, security is another significant factor contributing to the airspace restrictions over Mecca. With millions of pilgrims gathering in a relatively small area, ensuring their safety is of paramount importance. Prohibiting aircraft helps maintain controlled access to the city and enhances security measures during peak pilgrimage periods. Logistically, the airspace restrictions are meant to manage the substantial air traffic that occurs during the pilgrimage. Coordinating the arrival and departure of numerous flights in restricted airspace also requires precise planning to prevent overcrowding and potential accidents.
Air Force One is the official plane of the President of the United States. The converted Boeing 747 is used to transport the President of the United States and is equipped with enough fuel to fly halfway around the world. It has the most secure telephone line so the President can reach just about anyone in the world. In addition, the plane has anti-aircraft guns to withstand an air attack and flares to repel missiles. The luxury aircraft has 2 kitchens that can serve as many as 100 guests. It also has all kinds of high-tech technology and features that will remain a big secret to most people.
This island is known as the Guantanamo of Europe, a prison island that is nearly impossible to access. Imrali Island Prison, located in the Sea of Marmara, Turkey, is a high-security prison where several political prisoners have been held. The restriction on flying over this prison primarily relate to security concerns and the need to maintain the confidentiality and integrity of the facility. Prohibiting aircraft from flying over the Imrali Island Prison helps ensure the privacy and security of the incarcerated individuals. The restriction prevents unauthorized access, surveillance, or interference with prison operations. By securing the airspace, authorities aim to maintain the proper functioning of the correctional facility and prevent potential threats. Flight restrictions also help prevent the dissemination of sensitive information regarding prison operations and the individuals held there. This measure supports the protection of the rights and privacy of the prisoners. It's important to note that the specific reasons for airspace restrictions may vary over time and are subject to change based on local regulations. However, it's unlikely they would allow just anyone to fly over this Alcatraz-like prison.
We all know that Siberia has an extreme and dangerous climate, so it's no wonder that due to very unusual weather conditions, this area is one of the most undiscovered parts of the Earth. Sakha in western Yakutia is a very important place for Russia, as it produces 99% of all diamonds in the entire country. Even though it seems like the diamond industry has a bit of a romantic side, in reality, it's hard work in an extremely icy climate. The temperatures in the province are so low because the constant high air pressure in the area. It's cold, the air is dry, and in some parts, it's almost impossible to live. However, the nature of Yakutia is unique and beautiful.
The Kennedy Space Center, located on the east coast of Florida, is one of NASA's primary launch facilities. It serves as a hub for space exploration, satellite launches, and scientific research. Aircraft are not allowed to fly over the Kennedy Space Center for several reasons. First and foremost is safety. During rocket launches, the area around the Kennedy Space Center is heavily trafficked by air traffic, including helicopters and small planes used for monitoring and emergencies. Allowing additional aircraft in close proximity could pose a significant risk of collisions or interference with ongoing operations. Second, the Kennedy Space Center is situated on the Atlantic coast, adjacent to the Mariana Island National Wildlife Refuge. The refuge is home to various wildlife, including protected species such as the Florida scrub jay and the West Indian manatee. Restricting airspace over the Kennedy Space Center helps preserve the natural habitat and minimize disruptions to these species. Additionally, the Kennedy Space Center is a highly secure facility due to the sensitive nature of space missions and aerospace technology. Limited airspace ensures that the unauthorized aircraft cannot approach the center closely, thereby protecting classified info, research, and infrastructure from potential threats. It's worth noting that temporary flight restrictions are typically imposed during rocket launches or when critical operations are underway. These are communicated to pilots through official channels to ensure compliance and maintain safety protocols.
In the event of a Third World War, this is the place you want to hide. The Cheyenne Mountain Complex is a completely forbidden underground facility to the general public, safely tucked away in Cheyenne Mountain in Colorado Springs, USA. This complex was built at the height of the Cold War, so you can imagine just how much effort was put into making it impenetrable. The facility lies beneath a staggering 600 meters of granite and has 6 tunnels, each 3 stories high. The complex is designed to withstand everything from nuclear explosions to electromagnetic pulse attacks. In the worst-case scenario, the complex can withstand a 30-megaton atomic explosion, up to a distance of 2 kilometers. The security doors alone weigh more than 20 tons and are over 5.5 meters thick.
Area 51, a highly classified and secretive military installation located in the Nevada desert, has garnered significant attention and speculation over the years. The airspace above and around Area 51 is heavily restricted, and aircraft are not allowed to fly over it. The reasons for this restriction are shrouded in mystery, but several factors contribute to the airspace ban. One significant reason is national security. It's believed that Area 51 serves as a testing site for advanced military aircraft. Experimental tech, and classified projects. By limiting airspace, unauthorized individuals or organizations are prevented from conducting surveillance or gathering sensitive info about ongoing operations or secret aircraft designs. Another reason is safety. Area 51 encompasses an extensive complex with limited access and various hazardous test areas. Flying over the facility can pose a risk to civilian aircraft due to potential encounters with UFOs, experimental aircraft, or test activities involving high speeds or unconventional flight patterns. Additionally, restricted airspace helps maintain secrecy and confidentiality surrounding Area 51. Military officials prevent aerial photography to protect sensitive info and tech. It's important to note that airspace restrictions above Area 51 extend well beyond the immediate facility. By the way, do you think they're hiding extraterrestrial beings there? Let me know in the comments.
The head of the royal family is without a doubt one of the most heavily guarded people in history, so it makes sense that her homes are just as protected. The measures taken to protect her include everything from state-of-the-art alarms and motion sensors to an army of guards and several safe rooms which are hidden around the palace. Even her personal suites can only be reached through a secret door, known only to a few people. Buckingham Palace is open to the public, but people only have access to 19 of the 775 rooms. Nevertheless, a man named Michael Fargan managed to break into the Queen of England's bedroom not once, but twice. The first time was in June 1982, when he managed to slip through a window. It's said that he ate crackers and drank half a bottle of wine while he was inside. About 5 weeks later, he made another attempt and climbed in through a drain pipe, and he sat on the edge of the bed where the Queen sleeps. He meant no harm, but just wanted to show that it was possible.
Tiananmen Square, located in the heart of Beijing, China, is a historically and politically significant monument. The airspace above this place is strictly prohibited, and aircraft are not allowed to fly over it. The reason for this restriction primarily relate to security and the preservation of historical heritage. Firstly, Tiananmen Square holds immense political significance as the site of several pivotal events in Chinese history. It was the backdrop for the 1989 pro-democracy protests, which tragically ended. The Chinese government views the square as a symbol of national unity and stability, and restricting airspace helps maintain control over the area. Secondly, the square is surrounded by important political and governmental institutions, including the Great Hall of the People and the Forbidden City. Prohibiting aircraft from flying over the square ensures the security of these critical buildings and shields them from potential threats like aerial attacks. Moreover, restricting airspace contributes to preserving the historical and cultural significance of this place. The square also houses iconic landmarks, such as the Monument to the People's Heroes and the Mausoleum of Mao Zedong. By limiting air traffic, the Chinese governments prevent noise pollution, potential damage from low-flying aircraft, and disruptions to the solemn atmosphere of the square. It's not certain how long we'll live on this planet, but it seems that it will take us hundreds or even thousands of years to fully explore the Earth. One such place that has never been fully explored is the Mariana Trench, located in the western Pacific Ocean. The Mariana Trench is the deepest part of the ocean and is about 2,550 kilometers long and 69 kilometers wide. The incredible thing is that the maximum depth ever found in the Mariana Trench is almost 11 kilometers, so the very tallest mountain in the world could easily fit there. This place looks like no other place on the planet. The planet and animal species found there have never been seen by scientists before. As a matter of fact, it's understandable why researchers still cannot fully explore the trench. This is because it's too deep, so the water pressure is enormous. In addition, the water is also very hot in some places. The Parthenon, situated atop the Acropolis Hill in Athens, Greece, is an iconic ancient temple dedicated to the goddess Athena. Due to its historical and cultural significance, airspace over the Parthenon is restricted, and aircraft are prohibited from flying over it. The reasons for this restriction revolve around the preservation of the monument, respect for heritage, and minimizing potential risks. The Parthenon is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and is one of Greece's most treasured archaeological treasures. It symbolizes ancient Greek civilization, art, and architecture. Prohibiting aircraft from flying over the Parthenon helps protect the structural integrity of the monument and prevents potential damage caused by turbulence, supersonic booms, or low-flying aircraft. The airspace restriction also serves to minimize the risk of accidents or incidents involving aircraft. The Acropolis Hill on which the Parthenon stands is a densely populated urban area, with limited space for aircraft to maneuver. Banning flights over the Parthenon also reduces the chances of accidents, collisions, or emergencies that could endanger nearby residential areas or visitors. The White House, the official home and headquarters of the US President, is staffed by a total of 1,300 Secret Service members. Numerous measures are in place, such as the 147 bulletproof windows and SWAT teams stationed on the roof when the President enters or leaves. Not just anyone can walk into the White House. Visitors must check in 21 days in advance to allow time to examine them more closely. 6 floors below is the President Emergency Operations Center, which is to protect the president in case of crisis while allowing him to perform his duties. The White House also contains a number of infrared cameras and security measures that alert staff to a possible threat. Protection is not limited to the building itself. The complex is located in the center of a highly controlled no-fly zone. Ground-to-air missile launchers are also on standby at various locations around the city to intercept unauthorized aircraft should the need arise. Phoenix Park, located in Dublin, Ireland, is one of the largest walled urban parks in Europe, covering approximately 770 hectares. In this park, you'll find Dublin Zoo, a popular attraction and one of the world's oldest zoos. Although aircraft are not explicitly prohibited from flying over Phoenix Park or Dublin Zoo, there are practical reasons why planes typically avoid these areas. Phoenix Park is in close proximity to Dublin Airport, the busiest airport in Ireland. To ensure safe and efficient air traffic management, flight routes are carefully designed to minimize the impact on nearby urban areas. While it's not restricted airspace, aircraft generally follow designated flight paths that bypass Phoenix Park and Dublin Zoo to reduce noise disturbance and potential disruptions to the tranquility of the park and the well-being of the zoo animals. The park is a cherished green space and a sanctuary for various animal species, including a large herd of fallow deer that roam freely within its boundaries. Avoiding low-flying aircraft over the park helps protect the welfare and safety of the deer population. If you've ever wondered where the end of the world is, it could possibly be in northern Patagonia. This is because it's the southernmost country in the world. In fact, it's the largest ice field outside the polar region. Northern Patagonia is huge, over 1 million square kilometers, and less than 5% of Chile's and Argentina's population live there. The area has a lot of wildlife and almost no infrastructure, which makes it difficult to travel and explore. Patagonia is very close to the Earth's southern frozen frontier, and is a pit stop for researchers to Antarctica.
Even as much as the glaciers in northern Patagonia are melting back, the total area of the glacier region is only 4,200 square kilometers. This also makes it the largest ice field outside the polar region.
Hawaii Volcanoes National Park, located on the Big Island of Hawaii, is one of the fascinating natural wonders, showcasing the dynamic volcanic activity of the Hawaiian Islands. However, the airspace above the park is subject to restrictions. The volcanic activity within the national park presents unique risks. The park is home to active volcanoes, including the famous Kilauea, which has been erupting continuously since 1983. The emissions of volcanic gases, ash clouds, and potential volcanic projectiles can pose hazards to aircraft and jeopardize their safety. Restricting airspace above the park helps prevent these encounters with these volcanic phenomena, ensuring the well-being of both aircraft and passengers. The national park also holds immense cultural and spiritual significance for the native Hawaiian people. It's recognized as a World Heritage Site and embodies the rich cultural heritage of the islands. Restricting airspace serves to respect the sacred nature of the park and minimize disruptions to the local community. Moreover, limited airspace helps preserve the natural environment within the park. The unique ecosystems, including rainforests, lava fields, and rare plant and animal species, require protection from disruptions caused by low-flying aircraft. By restricting air traffic, the park can maintain its ecological balance and safeguard its vulnerable biodiversity.
The Vatican's secret archives house the largest collection of Catholic books, documents, and letters in history. It contains unique documents that only exist in history books, such as letters from Mary, Queen of Scots, and Abraham Lincoln, but also notes from the trial of the scientist Galileo, and much more. In all, there's historical documents and manuscripts covering more than 1,200 years of history. The archives are spread over 85 kilometers of shelves, with a total of about 35,000 documents. The Vatican's secret archives are located in a fortress-like section of the Vatican. Before 1881, no one except the inner circle of the Catholic Church would enter. Now, the Swiss Guard stands at a specific access point to admit certain academics. Only academics over the age of 75 have access to these archives. By the way, taking pictures inside is strictly prohibited.
The Eiffel Tower, an iconic symbol of Paris and a marvel of engineering, attracts millions of visitors each year. The airspace above the Eiffel Tower is restricted, and aircraft are not allowed to fly over it. The reasons for this restriction primarily concern safety, security, and the preservation of cultural heritage. The Eiffel Tower is a tall structure standing at 1,083 feet, or 330 meters in height. Prohibiting aircraft helps ensure the safety of both the aircraft and people on the ground. Low-flying aircraft near the tower could pose a collision risk with the tower's structure. Additionally, as a prominent landmark, the tower is a potential target for unauthorized aerial activities or security threats. By controlling the airspace, authorities can prevent potential acts of terrorism or other security risks. The Eiffel Tower is valued for its architectural beauty and panoramic views of the city. Restricting air traffic above the tower helps maintain the tranquility in the area by reducing noise disturbance and allowing visitors to enjoy the surroundings.
It's believed that it's better to never open the seventh door of the Padmanabhaswamy Temple. The temple itself has always been a mystery to people all over the world. Many ancient legends and theories circulate about this holy place. Most ancient mystery texts strictly forbid opening the last door, the seventh. It's believed that the door is cursed, and if anyone ever opens this door, poisonous snakes will attack this person, and later this will cause a huge It's believed that the door is cursed, and if anyone ever opens the door, poisonous snakes will attack the person, and later this will cause a huge catastrophe on the whole Earth. It seems that people believe the warnings, because no one has ever succeeded in opening the last door, although many attempts have been made. What do you think's in the room? Let me know in the comments.
The Pantex plant, located in Texas, United States, is a highly secure facility, responsible for the assembly and disassembly of nuclear weapons. You can probably guess why. The Pantex plant plays a crucial role in the country's nuclear weapons program. Restricted airspace ensures the security of the facility's activities, preventing unauthorized access, surveillance, or interference by aircraft. This facility is subject to strict security protocols due to the hazardous materials and activities involved in handling nuclear weapons. Restricting airspace helps minimize the risk of accidents, incidents, or potential threats from low-flying aircraft. It enables the effective implementation of safety measures and emergency procedures with the facility's boundaries. Furthermore, restricting flying over the Pantex plant is a part of a comprehensive security plan that includes physical barriers, access controls, and surveillance systems.
In 1694, the world's seventh oldest bank was founded, and since 1734, this bank has been located on Threadneedle Street in London. It's one of the most heavily guarded banks in history. But all this security is for a specific reason. This is because the Bank of England houses an underground vault made of concrete, which contains about 400,000 gold bars. That means the Bank of England is the second largest gold depository in the world. There is so much gold that the vault is about 10 soccer fields in size. Thanks to the measures taken by the bank, such as, believe it or not, a giant 1-meter-long key, a large number of guards, and an electronic security system with advanced voice recognition, no gold has ever been stolen. Rumor has it that the bank has been broken into once, and that it was by a sewer worker who alerted the bank and was rewarded for his honesty. The Taj Mahal, an architectural masterpiece and World Heritage Site, is located in Agra, India. As you may have heard, the Taj Mahal is a wonder of Mughal architecture and an enduring symbol of love. The ban of aircraft flying over it helps protect the structural integrity of the monument. Turbulence, sonic booms, and low-flying aircraft can cause damage to the building and threaten the stability of the structure. Restricting flight over the Taj Mahal aims to maintain its visual splendor and atmosphere. The pristine white marble and intricate details of the monument are best appreciated without the presence of aircraft overhead. If you have an interest in the Taj Mahal, it's definitely worth a visit, as it's a mausoleum and pilgrimage site. Prohibiting air traffic over the Taj Mahal respects the sacred nature of the monument and prevents disruptions to religious ceremonies conducted in the vicinity. Antarctica is believed to be the last undiscovered place on Earth, as it's less than 20% explored. You probably know that exploring the coldest place on the planet is far from easy. That's why it's full of mysteries. The size of Antarctica is huge, as it's 1.5 times larger than the United States, and 99% covered in ice. Interestingly, scientists have discovered many extraordinary things so far, including ancient fossils, blood-red waterfalls, and many other incredible things. But what about the less explored areas? Antarctica's extreme landscape makes it difficult to explore. Recently, NASA did uncover a mysterious hidden system of draining lakes under Antarctica. This is incredible because rivers flow under the ice. According to some scientists, Antarctica is not just an ice sheet, but a water system, connected to the whole system of the Earth.
Buckingham Palace is also a prominent location and an important site for state ceremonies and events. Restricting airspace above the palace helps ensure the security of the royal family. The restriction prevents unauthorized aircraft from approaching the area, reducing the risk of potential threats, surveillance, or terrorist activities. Additionally, it's important to note that the palace is located in the heart of London, a densely populated city with heavy air traffic. By limiting air traffic over the palace, authorities can minimize the risk of accidents or incidents involving low-flying aircraft near the royal residence and surrounding urban areas. Another reason is to respect the privacy of the royal family. These restrictions enable them to carry out their official duties and private lives without aircraft noise or air traffic overhead.
If you paid close attention in school, you probably know that the Earth has 4 layers: the crust, the mantle, the outer core, and the inner core. But perhaps the school lessons are mistaken in this, because researchers have already discovered that the mantle actually has 2 layers, an upper mantle and a lower mantle, with the boundary at 800 kilometers depth. Thanks to a brand new special search algorithm, scientists were able to make this discovery after comparing thousands of models of our planet's interior. The data they found was incredible, and it was collected with different seismographs in many places around the world, which helped to discover the interior of the Earth. So after this research, it was confirmed that the Earth has an additional 5th layer.
North Korea, officially known as the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, is a highly secretive and isolated nation. The airspace above North Korea is strictly controlled by the government. The restriction on flying over North Korea allows the government to maintain strict control over the movement of aircraft, preventing any unauthorized access by foreign entities. The restriction serves as a means to protect the country's military installations, sensitive infrastructure, and strategic assets. By prohibiting air travel over North Korea, the government aims to prevent potential threats, espionage, or intelligence-gathering activities by foreign aircraft. The government tightly controls access to and from the country, including its airspace, in order to maintain political and ideological control over the population, and minimize external influences.
Did you know about 1.7 billion Coca-Cola products are consumed every day? Coca-Cola is one of the most beloved drinks of all time, but its formula is also one of the world's best-kept secrets. This formula is hidden in a museum open to the public. The actual formula is locked in a giant steel vault surrounded by red surveillance lights. Cameras monitor the area from every angle, and guards are scattered around the area. Tourists are allowed to take pictures right in front of the vault, but no one has ever managed to get in. So it appears to have been a genius plan to hide the formula in plain sight. Which heavily secured place would you like to visit, and why? Let us know in the comments. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos we've made, click one on the screen or take a look at the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.